I assume all of you are ready for the last session for the day, which is going to be a demonstration of analytic tools in DHIS2. So mind you, in this Analytics Tools Academy, we are mainly containing ourselves to the aggregate analytics. If you are just wondering why we have not been showing any analytics related to the related to DHIS2 tracker or individual data, that is because we include that part in the level 1 tracker academy. In fact, we had the level 1 tracker academy, which was concluded recently, organized by Hispindia last month. So that component is covered in level 1 tracker academy. And so if you have any doubts why we are not showing the individual analytics, it's mainly because of that. So this session that we are going to do next will be kind of a demonstration, and we do not expect you to do it by yourself. So we just want you all to focus what we are doing so that you get an idea about the full range of analytics which are supported and how you could use it in your day-to-day setting. So for example, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to log into one of the DHIS2 instances, and I will just take up one scenario or else a use case of a particular program. So for this instance, I will be taking an example of HIV program in the country called Training Land. So I will just show you, starting from the dashboard, how to look at these the dashboard items as a HIV program manager, and how you can use this data, which is displayed in your DHIS2 instance, in an actionable way, and how you can interact with other users, right? And also how to use the full range of analytics tools which are available. So for example, I'll be demonstrating the dashboard and sometimes the charts, the pivot tables and maps, and I'll be even toggling or shifting between toggling back and forth between each of these analytic tools when I'm doing the demonstration. So once again, I'm telling you, don't try to just follow the steps I'm doing, because we'll be going into depths of hopefully we'll be covering most of the contents of individual analytic tools during the course of next few days, and just observe what are the functionalities which are available. All right, so first of all, I'm going to log into the DHIS2 instance. So I'll be using this one, academy.demos.dhis2.org/analytics. So this will be the same instance that you will be also using most of the time for your exercises. So I'm going to log in. Actually, I'm going to log in as an administrative user, just because I want to show you the full range of functionalities. But as you all are well aware, if you are actually going to replicate this training program in your country setting, you should always try to have a user with a lesser amount of permissions, so that who will be actually accessing this instance to analyze data, maybe at district or facility level. So once I'm logged into this DHIS2 instance, which you all must be very familiar with, I'm seeing a lot of dashboard items. Now, as I mentioned to you before, in our vehicles, the car, we just have one dashboard. But here in DHIS2, we have so many dashboards. So for example, here I'm seeing HIV related few dashboards, and there are few dashboards related to TB, right? And some related to malaria. So this will be the kind of setup if you log in as an administrative level user in your country HMIS, which is the case now, right? So here I'm just going to focus my attention on this particular dashboard, which is related to the HIV SNU2, so subnational unit. So I just click on that one, and this is what I am seeing. So here, once you click on this dashboard item, you will be able to see that there are some the dashboard items, analytic items, which are displayed under this dashboard. So you can have just one or two items, or here, as you can see here, we have at least around 8 items which is displayed in this dashboard. So one thing you can do is, say for example, if you have this big list of items, dashboard items, and you are confused as to you may not find it when you log in as the first few items when you log in. What you can do is you can click on this star icon so that you can make it a favorite item, and then you will see that this particular dashboard comes right at the top, so that when you log in, these are the items, the favorited items, the dashboard items are the ones that you will be seeing first, as I have done here. Right. So what do we see about this data? Now, before trying to go into depths of individual items, let's try to have a broad overview of this data that we are seeing. Okay. So here we can see just by looking at this dashboard that this is something to do with HIV data that we can see, and HIV subnational unit data. And then we should always ask, like, what is this data? Okay, this data is about HIV, and where is this data coming from? Unfortunately, I won't be able to have you all connected by audio. Otherwise, in other sessions, what we do is I ask this question from you all and try to get the answer from you all. Where is this data coming from? Right? What organization unit level, or like from where? Which country? The answer would be, you can see here nicely, the answer is training land. So this data is coming from training land, and you all must be aware this training land is a country. So this data is representative of this country, training land. And here, will you be able to see the district or province, state level data just by looking at it in a glance? Is it possible? Not really. We are not actually seeing. We are just seeing it at country level. So what if we want to see this data at a level which is below the country level? It's not just items related to one of these dashboards, but if I want this data to be, filtered at a province level or a district level, what can I do? Actually, it is pretty straightforward, which I have already mentioned before. What we can do is we can apply this filter. So I'm going to click on add filter, and here I can select filter based on what? I can filter based on a period or organization unit. So let me just click on organization unit here, and then I can just click on this arrow and I can select animal region and food region. Selecting animal and food, and I'm clicking on confirm, and then you will see a period, a filter based on organization unit has been assigned. So here, if you look at it again, now you are seeing the data that you are seeing in this entire dashboard is filtered based on animal region and food region. Hope you all noted that. Now we are not seeing anything above the organization unit filter that I have assigned. So let me assign another filter. Now let me also include this month, and I click on confirm. So once I do that, in addition to the organization unit filter, now I'm seeing a filter for the periods is also added, right? So let me scroll down, and you will be seeing that all the data that you are seeing in this dashboard is filtered for the animal and food region, as well as include, in addition to the period that is mentioned before, the period type this month. Is that all clear? All right. So let us try to move a bit further. And let me just focus my attention. Now, I'm just going to recap. So I'm just looking at this entire thing just as a HIV program manager. So if I am the HIV program manager, what do I have to make out of the dashboard that I'm seeing now? So for example, the striking thing, now I'm looking at the HIV cascade dashboard item here, right? So here, if I just look at it, I can see that, there are 3 data items: HIV test positive, PLHIV stands for people living with HIV, new on antiretroviral treatment, and then I'm seeing HIV, PLHIV retained on ART for last 12 months. So just by looking at it, I can see that animal region and food region, if you compare, the animal region has reported so many number of cases, which is more than what I'm seeing in the food region. Of course, for me to get a proper idea, I have to look at the historic data as well. But if I'm a bit concerned just by looking at it, because I'm the program manager and I know the trends and the reporting rates and the test positives of my country, so I'm a bit concerned, right? So because of that, what I'm going to do is I have to just see is there any problem with that? So I'm going to contact the person who is actually in charge of this reported data. So what I can do is I'm just going to click here and click on show interpretations and details. So I'm going to see like whether my district officer has noted this change for some reason and he has put a remark, or if not, I'm going to remind him, okay, look here, there is some problem with this data. Please go and have a look at it. So I'm going to click on show interpretations and detail, right? All right. So here, when you click on this one, you will see some description of the data that you are seeing here. So for example, you are seeing HIV positive test and PLHIV newly. So that description is there. And of course, you can see who has created this analytic item and when it was created. But surprisingly, I mean, maybe not too surprisingly, because that is how it is in most of the cases, I'm not seeing anybody making any comments on this visualization. So I'm a bit curious. So I'm just thinking that particular person who is responsible has not really seen this excessive number of test positives that is reported in the animal region. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to write something. I'm going to ask what has gone wrong. And also, I will also make sure that this person is getting a notification, right? That there is something wrong and he has to take care of it. Okay. So let me just do that. Assuming, so I start typing at, right? And then, right, I have to select a user. So let me just select, yeah, I will just select, I assume that of course my other account is the one who is responsible. So I'm just selecting that one. I just click here, right? So this user is mentioned. Do you see any abnormality in HIV tests positives? If so, could you please look into that, right? So I'm just going to type that and I'm going to click on save interpretation, right? So I do that. Now what does it do? So here, now if somebody has, I mean, whoever who has access to this dashboard and this particular item, they will be able to see that I have made a comment on this. And most importantly, we have to see what has happened to this particular user, whether this particular user has been notified, and if so, how, and then what is he going to do about it. So let me try to log out from this user and try to log in using the other user. Hopefully I have access to that user and I'm signing in as that user. Right. So I'm logged in to that using another account. And even in that account, I'm able to see this particular dashboard, right? Right. So the particular dashboard is HIV cascade, and I'm going to open show interpretations, right? What do I see? All right. Now I'm able to see this particular comment that has been made by, of course, Nick, who was my other user. But most importantly, did I notice that, I mean, like now I had to manually go to this item and check whether there is something. Now, do you all notice this icon here? This icon is the interpretation icon. So I'm going to click on that icon and see whether I have new notifications, right? Let us see what happened. Right, there you go. So I'm seeing this particular dashboard item, and here I'm seeing that Nick Datta has asked a question from me, right? So here he's asking, do you see any abnormality in HIV? So that was the exact thing I asked. So what you can see here is, here when this particular user logged in, he will be able to see if there are any new notifications right here. So that way, within the DHIS2 system itself, the user is getting notified that if somebody has made any remarks or any comments mentioning him, requiring his attention. Can you all see that? Right. So let me also show you something else which is interesting. Yeah. Right. Okay, just give me a couple of seconds. Right, so let me open up. What I'm going to do is to open up my email account. Of course, I'm not going to show you my personal emails, but so what I will do is I will open the particular email and I will bring it on this screen right here. There you go, right? So what you can see here is that you will see that there is this option that is available, right? See here, can you see? So here you are seeing WHO aggregated configuration demo. Nick Datta has mentioned you in DHIS2. Can you see? So this particular user not only got a notification within the DHIS2, but he is also getting an email so that he will be notified then and there if I have raised a concern about somebody's, I mean, like if I want to ask a question from that user. So that user will get a notification inside the DHIS2 as well as outside of it through email. So let me just take it back. Fine. Right. I'm there. So hope everything is clear up to this point, right? If there are any questions, of course, we can take them in the latter part. Let me move forward. Right, so let me in fact log out of this user and log in back again with the other user I originally used and go back to the HIV district SNU2 dashboard. Okay, so let us now scroll down and see what else we have. Right, so we have a few other tables and let us concentrate on this table. Now I'm a bit concerned about antiretroviral treatment performance by subordinate. So this is the table that I'm looking at. Now you can see that there are some districts which are reporting PL HIV, new on ART, currently on ART, and ratio of new ART to newly diagnosed. So there are some data I'm seeing here. And you will also be able to see that the background color of the cells in this table has been highlighted in different colors. So how did these colors come? This we will teach you. So the person who has developed this pivot table has applied legend. So basically what you're seeing here is kind of like a scorecard. So you can see, I mean, you can guess what is happening here. So for example, here this 92 is highlighted in green color and all these values which are 30s, 90s, 20s are in red color. So I'm assuming that if things are good, right, it is being highlighted in a green color, and if things are really bad, you'll be seeing them in highlighted red color, right? So this is what you see. And if I at a glance wants to see what district has let me just see a ratio of newborn ART to newly diagnosed. If I just want to see which is having the highest rate or lowest rate, what I can do is I can just click on the column header here, and this will be sorted based on kind of lowest to highest value. So let's see here which one is having the lowest. It's a bird district, right? And if I want to see which one is having the highest, of course it is the vegetable district. So likewise, what I wanted to highlight is if you want a particular column table to be sorted, you can easily do it by using the column header. Is that clear? All right. So let us now look at another table. Which one? Okay, here. In fact, it's not a table. Let us focus on this dashboard item here. So I'm now looking at HIV ART retention rate for last 12 months by user and suborganists. So of course, I'm seeing a map here, but now if I want to have a clear idea in a much simpler way, what I can do is I can actually click here and view this as a chart. I can just want to visualize this not as a map, but as a chart. So I'm going to click here, and then I can see the data represented and visualized as a chart. So looking at the data here, I want to know which district is having the highest rate. So you can just understand it just by looking at it. It is the sweet district. So you can see that sweet, I mean, when you just hover your mouse pointer there, you'll be able to see the description, right? And the sweet district is having 92% reporting rates here, retention rate. Is that clear? All right. Right, so let us also focus our attention to somewhere else. What do we see here? Okay, we have this table. Now here, what we are seeing is HIV testing performance by sub-org unit, right? So here we are seeing data based on regions. So we are seeing animal region and food region and the test performed, right? So if I want to see, if I want to dig in and maybe customize the output in a different way, what I can do is I can click here and I can click on view as chart, right? So even though we click on view as chart, then it will be showing a chart. But let me just open the table again. And if I want to go into more detail, I will click on open in data visualizer app. So let me click on open in data visualizer app and let's see what happens. So for the first time in this demonstration, what I did was, now so far I was just stuck inside the dashboard and was trying to go through the data. But at any time, if I feel I want to visualize this data in a different way, I want to customize, maybe I want to change the data dimensions, right? And individual data items, what you have to do is you have to navigate out of the dashboard by opening this in the visualize application, just as what I did before, right? So first of all, I would like to see now here the row values are there, but now I want to see how many tests have been performed in these two regions. Of course, when I want to do that, there is one, now I can't be calculating manually, so I want to see the total. So let me just click on options, and here there is option called uh, select column totals. And I click on update, and now I'll be able to see the total tests performed for each of these regions, as you can see here. Is that clear? All right. Now, now I'm looking at these two regions, which is at the second organization unit level, right? So let me just focus my attention into one of the districts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on these organization units here, right? And I will untick this, right? I will just go down. The second level is animal region. So let us just focus our attention on one of the districts. So let us select this dog district and see their performance, because I'm a bit curious to see like how the health staff in this dog districts has been performing their tasks, right? So I have selected this dog district and I'm going to click on update. So now you can see that you are only seeing this dog district data, right? Which is not good enough. I want to actually see individual health facility data. So one way of doing that is here I can select the level. So currently the level 1 is the country, level 2 is the region, level 3 is the district, and level 4 is the facility. So I'm going to click on this option here, facility. Once I do that, I click on update, and then this is what I am seeing. I'm actually seeing all the health facilities in the dog district and the data related to HIV test performs, test positives, and test positivity rates being highlighted based on individual health facilities. Is that clear? That's how you dig in. You are still at national level. You are not actually visiting this district, but staying at national level, you can go drilling down further and see performance of any health organization level, right? Okay, right, now I'm seeing this plain table. I would like to see not as this plain table, but I would like some colors on this, so that if you can remember that table I showed before in this dashboard, that there were these tables which were like this colored. So let's see whether that is possible. So how do I do that? I click on options and then I go to legend, right? And I click on display legend. And here I can select like what should happen. So of course, the first thing I want to change the background color, and then I have to select for a particular data item or the entire table. So for this instance, I will select the entire table, and then I have to select. There are so many legends. I have to select which one. So let me check. I think it's the one is HIV test positivity rate. Yeah, I think it's this one. So let me select that one and click on update. Right. So I do that, and now you see what has happened. So this column, HIV test positivity rate, has been highlighted. Of course, unfortunately, the statistics are not so great because the percentages are low. Everything is in red color. And as I showed you before, I can just highlight like this, and you'll be able to see the data sorted based on from the lowest to highest. Right. Interestingly, I am seeing a blank value here. So what could be the reason for this blank value? Of course, there could be two reasons. The first thing could be that they have not reported data at all, right? That's the possibility number one. What could be the second one? The second one, of course, could be that they have reported zero values, right? So that's so, right? Okay. So now, assuming that we have to actually decide whether it was zero or whether they have not actually reported. So which one do you think? Which one do you think? I'm thinking because entire all of these are not there. I'm thinking so they have not entered the test performs, not test positives. So because of that, I'm thinking that they have not actually reported. Okay, but the thing is now I want to produce this table in a report, and it is not nice to actually include this blank row. So I just want to get rid of this blank row in this table. So what are the options I have? I go to options here, right? And I scroll down and I'm seeing here hide empty rows. So I click on hide empty rows and I click update. And now I have got rid of that empty row. So my table looks complete, even though it's not the right thing, but there may be some requirements at some point where we have to do things like this. Right. So are we all good so far up to this point? I hope so. Right, so let us go back to the main dashboard. We are now here. All right, so let us look at something else. Now, again, let us focus more on the chart type analytic tools and see what are the functionality and what are the capabilities of these charts. Right, so I'm going to focus on this chart, which is, of course, HIV second and third in 90s, right? So this is the chart that I'm seeing here. And now you are seeing different values, percentage values are there, and there is one line here. So the line that you're seeing here, this at this 90% is called the target term, right? So this target line basically determines the target we want to achieve. So for example, as HIV program manager, I want all these indicators to be at least 90%. So when you see here, do you see at least any of these indicators meeting this 90% target? You see that? The answer, unfortunately, is no, right? So let us just, go further, drill down and see what is actually happening. So let me open this up in Data Visualize app. So I click here and I'm going to open this up in Data Visualize. Right. Now I'm seeing this. Okay. So here the 90% target is there and none of these indicators are meeting the 90% targets. Okay. Right. So let us just do some change and convert this to a line diagram so that I can see something a little bit different with performance on individual months, right? So I'm going to change this bar diagram to a line diagram so that I can get a better idea about performance of these indicators on monthly basis, right? So right now I'm seeing this at the training land level for the last 12 months as a whole, which is not descriptive enough, right? So I just want to see, like, are there any months that they have not done well? So I want to get an idea like that. So let me just change it to a line diagram. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this chart type here, right? And I'm going to select line, right? And then of course I will have to move around the category types a bit. So I will have to get the period as the category here, right? Sorry, let me just move it here, right? And then of course I need the data to come as series, and then organization units to go as the filter, so that we filter everything at the organization unit level, the country level, and we want to see this four different items as separate lines, and then I want the data to be categorized based on the period. So that's the configuration what I have done here, but don't worry, all this will be explained in due course. And I click on update, right? That's why these lines are not appearing there. So once I click on update, let's see what happens. All right, so this is what we see. So let us try to see what we are seeing here. So we have this chart. In this chart, we are seeing the x-axis is the period, and of course it has been categorized based on the months. So it is last 12 months. You can see whatever on y-axis categorized by monthly periods. So you can see here. And the different data items are appearing here as series, and you can see the color. So for example, what you see in green color is the ratio of new on ART to newly diagnosed, and the orange color is this one, viral load testing, and blue is ART retention rate, and red is PLHIV tested that are virologically suppressed. Okay, so let us see what we actually seeing here. So can we see whether the trend is improving in each of these data items? Can we see it? Not really, because I mean the naked eye view, we are seeing some fluctuations. So to get a clear idea about the trend, let us try to draw another line. So I'm going to click on options, right? And then I will click on this trend line, right? When I click on trend line, it is asking what type of trend line. So I will just select the default, which is a linear trend line, and I click on update. So once I do this, I should be able to see the trend line, but unfortunately the trend lines have been, they are covered with this bright, the original data line. So let me hide these lines and only make visible the trend lines. So how do I do that? What I can do is I can just click on these buttons here, the series items, right? And they will be hidden as I type on each of them. You can see they are all gone. Now only this HIV viral load green one is there, orange one is there, and I click that. Now I'm able to see the trend line, the linear lines. So is the trend improving? Well, yes, in some of them it's improving, but only slightly. But this idea we can get because we have this linear trend line. But before, when we were just seeing this raw data, it was fluctuating so much that we cannot actually get an idea whether the trend is improving or not. So with this trend line, you can get an idea where the data is heading. Is that clear? I assume so. All right. Let me also do something else. Now, if I want to, now I'm seeing this nice visualization, but like if I want to include this graph in this trend diagram in a report, I may want to download this chart. So there is option to download this as an image. So I click on download and I can select what are the options available. In fact, I can even download it as a PDF. I will just download it as an image, a PNG file, and it will be downloaded into this computer like this. Okay, can you all see? Right. Okay. So, right, let me go back. Right, so we have covered some analytics all the way up to the data visualizer, which is about the tables and charts.
Yeah, that's the challenge.
I advise you to keep your mic muted if you are not actively presenting. Can my facilitator support me? Yeah, all right, great. Okay. So I assume, hope everything is clear up to this point. Right. So the final analytics item that we have to concentrate and that we'll be covering in this during this course of 2 weeks is maps. So let us scroll down in this dashboard and see whether there are any maps. Well, of course, there was a map. There is that map gone. I think this was the one, right? So let me just click here, view as map, and this is the map that was originally there. Right. So just by looking at it, I can get some idea about what this map is suggesting. So for example, you can see this is about HIV ART retention rate in last 12 months by user and sub-org units. Okay, right. So let us do the same as what we have done with the tables and the charts. We can open this in Maps application so that we can drill down further and get a better understanding. Right. So now what we have done is the item, the dashboard item, which is available in the dashboard, we have now opened up in the Maps application, which is in fact used to design this map. So if you can focus your attention onto the left side of the screen, you will be able to see the contents, the individual components that constitutes this final map. So you can see here this base map. So here, of course, we have only two layers. We have a base map, which is of course this Bing road base map. Base map is in fact like I mean there are this OSM Lite, Google Street Maps. These are the base map. So kind of giving us an idea about the geographical location that we are concentrating on. And then on top of that, we have added this thematic layer, which is actually having these legends and the data in it. Right? Okay. So if I ask you the question, which district is performing the worst? Okay, so when I ask that question, what you can do is, which one? Can you all tell me? Unfortunately, I'm not sure. Okay, maybe one of you can just unmute yourself and tell. But of course, I think you may not be able to get a clear idea. Can anyone tell me which district is performing worst just by looking at it? All right, I think you are not coming up with an answer because it is a bit vague. The reason being, if you just look at this legend, you can see that uh, uh, the areas which are having good percentages are highlighted in green. So for example here, and then from 79 to 89, it's here. And then 66 to 75, it's here. So one way of looking at it is like if I just hover my mic, this mouse pointer here, I mean, as I do it, I'll be able to see the percentages, right? Then I have to do like this to get an idea, right? So what I suggest is, I mean, I can't be doing all this. What I will do is like, there are a few ways of doing it. Maybe I can just increase the number of classes, right? So when you reduce the number of classes, so right now we only have 5, the demarcation is not that clear. So if you increase the number of classes, you may be able to see. So let us, increase the number of classes. What I mean by increasing the number of classes is that I will now here, you can see there are only 5 legend items. I will try to make it 9 so that I'll be having more opportunity of capturing the outliers, or even within this range, I'll be able to get a better demarcation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on edit layer, right? And here, let me go to this style tab, right? So right now we only have 5 classes. So I will just shift to automatic and let me increase the number of classes to 9. Right. And also I would like to see a better graphical demarcation. So let me select the legend styling, which is more representative. So I'm interested in taking maybe this one, where the lowest will appear in red and the highest will appear in green. So I select that, and maybe even I can put labels. So just by looking at it, I can get a better idea. So I put all these things and I click on update layer. So what actually happens? Now, can you all tell me which district is performing worst? I think it should be visible very clearly. Can anyone tell me? You can unmute and answer. Which district? Just by looking at it. The legend is here. So which district is performing worst? Right? People are shy, it seems, and I guess this
Dog district.
Top district.
exactly. Thank you. That's the answer. Dog district. So how was it made possible? It was made possible with the minor customizations I did. So what I did was I increased the number of classes, and then I kind of got the legend set in a such a way that it gives a better graphical visualization, right? And also I have enabled the labeling. Now you can see nicely this dog district is the one which is not performing great. Right. But mind you, here we are looking at the district data. But actually, as a HIV manager, you may be knowing, even for other programs, it's the same. It is not at district level we are reporting. In fact, the reporting organization unit is the facilities, which is one layer down. So now that we have figured out the dog district, what are the possibilities? Now, what do you think might have happened at facility level? What do you think might have happened? I mean, what are the possibilities that may have happened in at facility level for us to see that dog district is not performing this great? What are the options? If someone can just answer. I mean, to explain my question a bit more, now supposing this dog district may have like 5, 6 organization units, which are health facilities, right? So what could have happened in these health facilities that resulted this entire district reporting low numbers? What are the possibilities? If someone can answer.
Some of the facilities might not report.
Some of the facilities might not have reported. Yes, this could be one reason. Good. Anything else? Right. The other possibility is that, okay, let us see what has actually happened. I mean, now, like, if we have a lot of organization units, and at least if one has performed really bad, because we are getting the average, it can affect the statistics that are represented at district level. So let us see what has actually happened. So what we can do is, now we know the area, right? And the other advantage of maps is that we get an idea where it is located, even if we are not a citizen of that country. Say, for example, if you just go to a country as a foreigner, where you don't have any idea. But here, because we have some geographic distribution and we know where say, for example, here I'm assuming that in this training land, maybe this area could be the capital. I mean, capital city may be somewhere there, and that is why maybe these districts are performing that, really great. And maybe this dog district can be located in an area maybe with a bad terrain, right, in a mountainous area or something like, area like that. So that is why this geographic visualization really helps. So what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to see actually what has happened, right? So what I will do is I will right click on it and I will click on this drill down one level. Once I do that, there we go. Now we have the health facilities in this dog district. So do you see what has gone wrong? Can someone tell me, is the dog district really that bad? What do you all think? Now, how many facilities are there in this dog district? How many are there?
Five.
5, yes, 5 facilities are there. So, okay, at district level, we categorize this dog district as the worst district. But what do you really think? Are all these 5 facilities responsible for this dog district being the worst district?
No.
No, right? Why we say no is that if you just go here, you can see that all these facilities, all these 4 facilities are having green color and they are having very good percentages. But where we have this one barrack, right, this Dingo Health Center, which is having 60%, which is actually contributing for the statistics of the entire district to go down. So this we got to know by drilling down, right? So you don't actually have to go and open the data entry forms and, go through all the forms to see it. But being the national program officer, just sitting at your desk at national level, you will be able to do this by just doing a desk review. So this is the take-home message of this DHIS2 analytics course. So as a program manager, you can do a nice test review by using the inbuilt analytic tools. So you don't actually have to waste your time to visit the facilities, right, and see, and then, how difficult it is to get the data from people when you do this district level reviews, maybe the facility review, right? You don't have all that hassle. You just need to make sure that people keep reporting data. And you can do a nice test review and understand what is going wrong. And as I have mentioned before in my initial part of the this presentation, the demonstration, you can use the interpretation and you can comment and you can get the feedback from the people who are responsible just by using this test review. Hope you get the idea of the power that you have in this DHIS2 analytic tools when doing this test review. So let me show you one more thing and then finish this demonstration, because this was, I mean, at least I know in Sri Lankan context, especially when we were using the version 2.31, the most requested the feature in the maps was, okay, now we can do all this nice analysis in the maps. Can we download this and put it in our report? It was not possible in 2.31, but of course here you can do it by clicking on the download button here. You can click here and then it will ask whether to show name and whether to show the legend. Of course, I advise you to show the legend, otherwise people will not be able to get an idea. And then it is asking where the legend should appear. You can see, like when you click here, you can see this legend box is moving on the screen as to where it should appear. So I will just select here, maybe because it is not covering major part of my map, and I click on download. Once I do that, it will download the image, and then this image is right here. You can put it in any of the reports that you are preparing. All right. So that's kind of the essence of maps. But the thing is, like, I did not go through all the functionalities in this DHIS2 analytics tools, right? Because one thing is, I don't have enough time and I did not want to scare you all. But the objective of this session is that you will see what are the possibilities, because I know like most of you all, the participants who are here are data managers and administrators at some level, right? So your task may not be necessarily customizing a DHIS2 instance, but it is about, you know, how to analyze data and how to produce reports and how to advise your subordinates and users at different level and how to, you know, present some nice reports in stakeholder meetings. So this may be your objective. And I assume I was just going through these sessions, the analytics tools, to give you an idea what are the functionalities available. So during the course of next 2 weeks, what we hope to do is to go through all these analytic tools and show you how to do it, not only to show you how to do it and to make you how to do it. So you will be actually going through these tools and you will be customizing your data, and the exercises and assignments that we have placed on each of the days will also guide you through this exercise. So I hope you got an kind of a sense of what you will be doing over the next few days. So that's it about the demonstration. Now the floor is open for questions if you have any.